In this weekly reading, we have at the beginning the description of the donations that people gave uh, to serve the tabernacle. There are 2 points, language-wise, that we should notice in the text. Number one, the text does not use the verb to give. Instead, the verb, that's how we see it right at the beginning in chapter 35, verse 5, that the verb used is to take. And you will not see anywhere in the text that the language will use the verb to give. And the question is why? One needs to go a lot earlier to the book of Genesis to see that the verb to give is being used for financial transactions. Meaning, when two people come, for example, Abraham, who went to buy a plot to bury his wife, Sarah, the Abraham is asking the Hittites to give him the plot. Eventually, at the end of the negotiations, Abraham gave the money, and the owner of the land gave Abraham the land. So you give a product or you give a service, and the one who gets the product or gets the service will give the money or the value for what the person received. Exactly the same, we see it with Judah and Tamar when they met on the road, and he said, "Let me come to you." And she said, "But what would you give me?" It is not that he will give her a gift or anything, but she is talking as a service giver. I will give you a service, you give me something. So he said, "Okay, I will give you a goat uh, for my uh, herd." Uh, and she said, but what would you give me while I'm waiting?" So then they are, what you see in the exchange between them, she gives the service, he gives her something, a value. But when you talk about donations, we are not talking about a financial transaction. We are talking about somebody who wants to uh, bring, that's what the text is using, to bring something to the tabernacle. Okay? So therefore, there is nowhere in the text the verb to give, because donations are not a financial transaction. That's point number one. Let's go to point number two. And I put it in color so you would be able to see it, because there are two ways for the text to relate to the past. Number one is regular past tense, and number two, which is considered today as relating to the past, but the text is not using the regular past tense. The text is using the future, the future tense, with what we call revolving vav. The vav is the letter that is used in the Hebrew language to relate to the word end, to end something. So therefore, if you go over the text, and there is a lesson about it, if you go over the text, you will see that wherever it is the future with the revolving verb, it's a primary point, primary activity, while the regular past tense will be secondary. We can see it at the beginning of Genesis where the text is saying, and God will say, Vayomer, God will say, let it be light, and there will be light. Vayehi light, Vayehi or, okay? So you can see that when it is primary, it will be future with revolving verb, and therefore, when the following verse where God called the light day and the darkness called it night, we will see that the day is with the future, with revolving verb, while the night with regular past tense. So when we go here to our text in front of us, we will see that there are several times that the text is using the regular past tense, but there is only one time, and I put it in the blue, and that it is in verse 35, chapter 35, verse 25, where it is the future with the revolving verb. And you will ask yourself, what's the difference between the chapter 35, verse 25, versus all the rest? And the answer is that all the rest brought something that they had, meaning something that was of value, but they added, while on chapter 35, verse 25, the women did something. And because the women did something with their hands, the text is giving it more respect, more admiration to that activity because they did it on their own. And therefore, it is future with the revolving verb. So if you don't notice it, you will not realize how the text is sending us the message that the women were more important than the men. So to summarize it, we have 2 points in this text, language-wise. Number one, it is the verb to take and not the verb to give, meaning the one who is giving the donation is bringing the donation, while the one who is receiving the donation, that one is taking the donation. And number two, that you see that the text is sending us a message via the language. It's not via the content, but it is via the language, that the women were more important in the text because they did something, while all the rest brought something that they had. Actually, what we are finding out that there are two channels of communication. Number one is the content, meaning the activities that the text is describing. And number two is the language. The language is another channel of communication because by language, the text is sending us a message as well. So if we only read the content, we will lose the message that is buried, sort of, in the language. Shabbat Shalom.